Welcome to part 2 of my last day in Serbia. In part 1, we went from Vranje, Serbia to the Kosovo border, and now we're going from the Kosovo border to Kumanovo, Macedonia. After leaving the Kosovo border, we're going to go down this really big hill back to the Serbian town of Lucanja, and then from there, go back to Bujanovac. There's a really weird roundabout in Bujanovac, and it took me a couple minutes to sort of figure out which exit I needed to take on the roundabout to avoid going on the actual highway. I found this frontage road, I guess would be the best word for it, that paralleled the highway, but it eventually ended, so I had to cross the median and get onto the highway itself. Took the highway for quite a while, but eventually the traffic sort of died down and it became its own frontage road for the major, I don't want to call it an interstate because that's an American thing, but a very large highway that spans the two countries. So the highway that came out of Bujanovac eventually ended up becoming a frontage road for the European equivalent of an interstate. This section was quite hilly and had a lot of curves. I was already gassed from going up that big hill leading into Kosovo, so I was going pretty slow. Eventually I pulled into a little gas station, got sort of a rudimentary lunch, and refilled on water. Even though I was moving pretty slow, it was a nice, uneventful, quiet ride through the Serbian countryside. It's a very beautiful area, a very beautiful country, and to be honest, I was kind of bummed that I was leaving. After the hilly section, there was a really long, straight shot all the way to the border. About 10 miles in total. Gave me a lot of time to just sit and reflect, look at the scenery, and think about all the wonderful things that happened in Serbia. It was a really good time. As time went on, the road that I was on became more and more narrow, and then eventually didn't have any lines on it anymore. There was a few bizarre looking signs that obviously I can't read, but I knew I was getting close to the border, and I was really hoping that this road would take me, to the other side. It didn't. It did not. But the way it looked like on Google Maps and the way that it was taking me was that I could take this road down, and then eventually there'd be like a white, almost dirt road that I could take over to the border checkpoint. So I really didn't think too much of it. I was getting a little nervous because the actual interstate, I guess, was getting farther away from where I was, and I was headed right towards the border, and by the looks of this road, didn't look very well traveled, so I was thinking I might have to end up crossing a field, and that is exactly what happened. When I got to the Serbian border, I realized they are not joking around about border security. That white road that I saw on Google Maps, it was a road, but it was a road for the border police to travel on. There was a big fence with barbed wire top and bottom on one side, and a big fence with barbed wire top and bottom on the other side of this white road. That white road went as far as I could see into the horizon, and pretty much everywhere there was a change in angle of the fence, there was a little post with several cameras, probably thermals and stuff like that. Yeah, they had it locked down pretty tight. You would have a very hard time sneaking over that border, and it funneled everyone in to the border crossing on the major highway. Damn, Serbia don't play with their border. 2 layers of fence with barbed wire on the top. Going all the way around. All right, my last ridiculous highway or road, quote unquote, in Serbia. So now I had to figure out how to get over a mile through this field, get up to the Euro interstate, and then decide, do I want to ride on the oncoming traffic side of this interstate, which is the side I was on, or do I want to get over to the right side? Oh, this is going to be fun. I had two options at this point. I could cross this field and hope there'd be a way to get to the big highway, or I could go back maybe 6-7 miles, get onto the highway itself, and then ride 6 or 7 miles back on a highway that pretty sure was illegal for me to be riding a bicycle on. Even if it wasn't illegal, it's not really a place I'd really want to be on a bike. Sure, there might have been a big shoulder, but you got semi trucks, you got cars going probably like 90 miles an hour because everyone speeds. So decided to take the field route. What the fuck? Oh! What the fuck is life right now, man? I rode the mile through the field on the closest thing to a path or a trail that I could find. The only section that wasn't just pure vegetation. And eventually I hit a fence. Once at the fence, I had to lift my bike over, but the fence was tall enough to where it just made more sense to remove all of my bags from the bike, throw it over, and then the fence was too tall for me just to step over, but not sturdy enough to make it easy to climb. My fat ass struggled a little bit getting over that fence. Once I got on the highway, I rode against traffic for a little bit until I got to the very last gas station in Serbia, just to have my farewell beer. Say Živeli one more time to the country that treated me so well. All right, so this is my last beer in Serbia. This crossing should be really interesting because I am on the wrong side of the highway. I need to go that way. The side of the highway I'm on goes this way, and there's a median in the middle. So it's probably like 400 meters until I actually get there. But yeah, should be quite interesting. We'll see what happens. Honestly, I'm really gonna miss Serbia. It's been really good. Kind of bummed that due to my unfortunate injury, I wasn't able to, walk around a whole lot and like see some of the stuff in, Novi Sad. I missed a lot of the stuff in Belgrade. So but it's been a really cool experience so far. I've had a lot of fun, had a lot of good times. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to come back and sort of re-see the sites that I didn't get to see. So we will see what we can do to make this border crossing happen, and then I'll probably make a video doing all the highlights of Serbia because it was a wild time, man. Živeli. After crossing the border, I had about another 10 miles to go to get to Kumanovo. As soon as I got across the border, I noticed my bike felt a little sluggish. Yeah, I picked up a pretty fat thorn going through that field, and my rear tire was flat. So, stopped, got a beer, got a early dinner. I knew it. I absolutely knew it. I got a flat tire. Of course, when I'm in a rush, I get a flat tire. Once my bike was roadworthy again, I made the final push into Kumanovo. It was getting dark, but I could still see some of the scenery, and it looked a lot like what I had just ridden through in Serbia. There wasn't much of a change, and kept going through the Macedonian countryside, and eventually it got dark enough to where I needed to change the lens on my glasses to the night lenses, and I ran out of GoPro batteries, so yeah, that was my final day in Serbia, and now we begin the Macedonian section of the trip. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.